Hello everyone, this is the third tutorial of my HTML tutorial series. In this tutorial, I am going to discuss about HTML list and HTML tables. HTML list. HTML list allow us to group a set of related items in a list. If you take this web page, you can see here we have different types of list. Here we have ordered list, unordered list and description list. In HTML, these are the three main type of lists that we consider. The first one is called as an unordered list. So there's no order. Items are displayed with bullet points. Second one is an ordered list. Here you can see items are arranged according to an order, according to the numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or even if you want, you can order these lists according to a literal value like A, B, C, D. So these lists are called as a ordered list. And the last one is a description list. A description list is list of terms with description of each items like this. First we'll start with unordered list. To create unordered list in HTML, you need to use UL tag. UL stand for unordered list. So this UL tag tells our browser we are going to start an unordered list. And inside list, you need to put your list items. So for that, you have a tag called li. Using li tag, you can mention your list item. So I'm going to create the previous list that we discussed. So I'll put HTML as first list item. Again, inside li tag, you can put the second list item, CSS. Likewise, you can create any number of list items. JavaScript. I'll put another one. PHP. Let's save this and we can check in the browser. So list. So it will display like this. Now we look at how to change this bullet point. Right. So to change a bullet point, you need to use an attribute called type. By using type attribute, you can change your bullet type. But before going to that, I'll mention the available bullet types or the available values for type attribute in here. So I'll put it as a comment. The first one is disk. Disk is the bullet that you saw in previous example. It means this one, disk. And you have another value called circle. And then we have square. And final one is none. So these are the four attribute values that you can use to create a bullet. So I'll put circle here. Save. And if we check in the browser, you can see the bullet is changed to the circle icon. And also if you want, you can use style attributes also to change the bullet icon. We discussed about this style attribute in previous tutorial. So you can put style and the value style type. And you can put value. You can select a value from here. It may be disk, inherit, anything. So here you can see you have number of styles as a bullet point. I'm going to select square, save and try. You can see the result. So with this list style type or with this style attribute, you can add more styles than the type attribute. The type attribute is the attribute that we used earlier, means in the beginning of HTML or the early days of HTML. But now with the style attribute, you can put many styles, and I'm going to discuss more details about this style attribute in CSS. The next thing I'm going to discuss is ordered list. To indicate ordered list or to create ordered list, you need to use OL tag. OL. Right, so OL stand for ordered list, and inside OL tag you can put your list item using LI tag. So in each list, LI is the tag that we use to put list items. LI, I'll put the same value that I put in the previous list, HTML. As a second value, I'll put CSS. Likewise, you can fill few values. So here I have 5 values. So I'm going to save this document and I'm going to check in the browser. Here you can see the results. So we call this list as an ordered list. You can see the list items are arranged according to order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We call this as a numbered list. Right. Here also you can give or you can decide list type. So we have type attribute, and by using type attribute you can decide the order type. If you want your list to order as 1, 2, 3, then you can select 1. Or if you want it as A, B, C, D, then you can select this one. If you want to order your list as a 1, 2, 3 but in Roman letters, then you can select this capital I. Or if you want to order it according to letters but in simple, so then you can select this simple A. Right. Save. And if I check in the browser, then this will be your result. Your list is arranged according to A, B, C, D, E order. Your values are arranged according to A, B, C, D literal values. The next important thing I am going to discuss is you can change the start position of this order. It means always you don't need to start your list with 1. You can change this starting point, or you can change this starting value. So for that you can use start attribute with your OL tag start 30. If I put 30 here, this list will start from 30, not from 1. So you can see the results in the browser. So the list will be start from 30. If I change this one into 60, then it will start with 60. If I change this one into 7, then again you can see it will start its count from 7. The next list is description list. To indicate description list, we can use DL tag, description list, DL. In between DL tag, you can create your description list. Inside DL tag, you can put DT. DT stands for definition term. So first you need to put term that you want to describe. So my term is HTML, and the next tag is DD, definition data. So here you can describe your term. So HTML, I'm going to describe it as a markup language. Next item, again you need to open DT, and this time our term is CSS, and the description of CSS you can put inside DT, and it's a styling language. The next one, again the next term DT, and I'll put JavaScript, and the definition data or the description of the JavaScript is it's a client side scripting language. So client side scripting language. So likewise you can give any number of values. It means you can give any number of definition terms and you can describe those terms inside this DT. Right. So I'll save this one. Let's check. So this is the definition list that we created. So these three are the main type of list in HTML: unordered list, ordered list, and description list. So the next thing I'm going to introduce is nested list. It means you can create list inside a list. So here I'm going to create unordered list inside ordered list. If you want, you can create unordered list inside ordered list, or you can create ordered list inside ordered list, or you can create unordered inside unordered, or you can create many number of list inside single list. There's no limitation, so according to your requirement you can choose which list type or which type of list or which levels of list that you are going to create. Let's assume we need to create our module list or the subject list for the semester. So first I need to put heading. So for that I am going to insert H2 tag, and in between H2 opening and closing I am going to put my heading. So I'll put modules for second semester, right? So this is my heading. And if you want to mention this ND as a superscript, then you can use tag called sup, right? And you can put this ND in between this, right? Second semester, right? Now I need to mention modules and the sub-modules, right? So I'm going to display modules as 1, 2, 3 or as ordered list, and inside that I'm going to create unordered list for display sub-modules. The first one, OL tag, because I'm going to create an ordered list to put my main modules. So first module item is web designing, so I'm going to put that value inside li tag, web designing. And under web designing I need to put sub-modules. Under web designing I need to put sub-modules. So for that I am using unordered list, UL, and inside this I can put my list items. So LI, first list item or the first sub-module, just put HTML, and the second one will be CSS, third one PHP. Likewise you can put your module names here, right? And finally you need to close your UL tag. And the second list item of this ordered list, so it will be database management. Right, and under that also we need to create UL or the unordered list to put sub categories of this module, right? UL, LI, DB concepts or the database concepts, and then we can put ER models, ER diagrams. And then we can put another item like SQL, right? So likewise you can create your unordered list, so there's no limitation, you can put any number of list items here, right? Now the third list item, again you need to close your unordered list. After that you can create your next list, LI, I'll put it as a programming languages or the programming, and under that again you have subcategories or the sub lists. Again for that you need to use UL, and if you want to change your list the bullet, you can use the type attribute here. So my list item, I'll put Java. Right. So let's save this one and check in the browser. Right. Here you can see the results. So this ordered list is called as a outer list, and this unordered list called as a inner list. So you can create this nested list up to multiple levels. The next thing I am going to discuss today is HTML tables. HTML table. Table allow us to arrange data into columns and rows. So to create a column, you need to use table tag. Right, so this table tag is also a tag that comes with the closing tag. And in between this table, opening and closing tag, you can create your table. So the first one is table row, because inside tables you have number of rows. So first you need to decide how many rows that you are going to add to your table, and then you need to create the number of rows you need, right? So I need 3 rows. So to rows we have a tag called tr, table row. So I'm going to create 3 rows. It means I need 3 tr tags. Right. So now I have 3 rows, and inside these rows you have cells. So because inside rows, or first you can create your rows and you need to separate those rows into columns. When separate these rows and columns, we call those parts as a cells. I need 4 columns in this table. So to create that, first I need to create 4 cells in first row. So to create cells, you have a tag called TD. TD stands for table definition. Right, so I can copy this one and I can copy this one. I can paste it 4 times. Then I can get 4 cells. So likewise, I need these 4 sets for other 3, and I'll save this one. And if I check this one in my browser, it's nothing. Right. So let's add some values to these cells. So I'm going to name these cells as cell 1, 2, 3. Right. So I'll name all the 12 cells. Right. Now I have 12 cells created. So let me save this one and check. Right. So you can see all the values, but there's no visible table, right? So for that you can add table border. With table tag you can call for border attribute, border, and I'm going to put value as 1. I'll save this one, and then you can see the table borders. So this table looks a little bit compressed, so we'll expand this table. For that I have an attribute called cell padding. I'll put cell padding as 10 and I'll save and check. So you can see the results. Here the cell padding means the space between your margin and your data. Difference between your data and table margin or the cell margin. You have another attribute called cell spacing. I'll put value as 10, save. Now you can see with cell spacing you can increase the space between cells. So this space is to get this space we use cell spacing, and to get this space we use cell padding. And if you want to create fixed size, or if you want to give fixed size for your table, then you can give width and height for your table. But in this case I am not going to use those values. Right. So now you have a table. And if you want to make your first column as a heading column, then you need to use tag called TH. TH stand for table heading. You can change your first row's headings to TH. Save and refresh. So now you can see the result. The first row is converted to a heading row. If you want to give a background color to your table, you can use BG color attribute. BG color, and you can give any value. So in this case I am going to give green. I'll save this one. You can see the background color is changed to green color. If you want image as a background, you can use background attribute and you can use your image name as value. And if you want to change the color of or the BG color or the background color of single row, then you need to use this BG color attribute with that particular row. And if you want to change the color of single cell, then you need to change a BG color of that particular TD or TH. The next thing I am going to tell you is how to merge these cells. Right. For that, first you need to decide which columns that or which cells are you going to merge. Right. For example, if you take this first row, in this first row, I have 4 cells. Assume I want to merge these first 2 cells and create single cell. Think about the final result. Finally, I need 3 cells in this first row. Okay, let's merge these two. In final results, I need 3 cells. It means I need to delete 1 TD because we need only 3 TDs, right? So I'll delete 1 and I need to merge 1 and 2, right? So in first TD, I'll put colspan. Colspan is the attribute that we use to merge columns, right? So I'm going to merge 2 columns. So I'll put 2 here. If you want to merge 3, then you can put 3. Right. Save. The results you can see the first and second columns are merged. Now imagine you need to merge these all columns. It means you need to merge all and create single cell. It means you need to merge this 2 into this one. In the final results, we need only single cell. So we can delete all the other cells and keep one cell. And in that cell, we need to merge all the 4 columns, right? So I'll put 4 and save. So you can see the result. If you want, you can center align value inside your cell. Next, imagine you want to merge these 2 rows. It means cell 5 and cell 9. You need to merge these 2. It means you need to delete this line. To do that, again, you need to think of final results. In the final results, in the second row, you will have 1, 2, 3, 4 cells, and the third row, you will have only 3 cells because this cell will be merged with this one. Right, so it means in the third line, you will have only 3 cells. So we'll delete this first cell from this third line, the third row, because it's going to be merged with second. Right, so now we have 3 cells in second line, the third line, or the third row. Right, so now select the TD that you want to merge, or select the cell that you want to merge. I want to merge first cell, so I'll select first TD and this attribute called row span equal, I need to merge 2 cells. So value will be 2. Save. Right. So you can see the result. In the second row, you have 4 cells. 1, 2, 3 and 4. But in the third one, you have only 3 cells because the first one is merged with the second row. Next, I want to merge these two cells as well. It means I want to merge these last two cells. Again, you need to think about the final results. So now if we take second line, we have 1, 2, 3 cells, and this is going to be merged with this, but still it's in the second line. So it means for the second line we have 4 cells. But if we take the third line, here we have 3 cells, and I am going to merge this one with this. It means only 2 cells will be remain in the third line or the third row. Right. So it means I want to delete this one, and I want to merge this last 2 cells. So it means I want to merge this one with third line. TD row span, I want to merge 2, so equal to save. Save. You can see the results. You can create tables with any number of columns and rows according to your requirement, and you can merge these columns and rows according to your wish. As a beginner, create your table with all the columns and rows and think about the cells that you want to merge, and think about the results and eliminate the cells that you don't want. And later, means when you're comfortable with tables, you can merge these columns and rows the same time when you're creating. So those are the things I was planned to discuss in this tutorial. So now you have a homework. Create this web page. First part is from list. Here you have a nested list. You need to create an unordered list inside ordered list. And the font colors are different, so you can change font colors using the attributes that you learned in previous tutorial. Second, create this flag. This flag is created using HTML table. Think about the number of columns, rows that you have and the final results, and merge cells and rows according to get this result. And to separate these two, I have used the horizontal line. To create horizontal line, you can use HR tag. This is just like a BR tag. It means it's a single tag without a closing tag. So you can use HR tag to get this line break. Create this web page and comment your output in the comment section. And in next tutorial, I'm going to discuss about HTML5. What is HTML5? What are the important features? And how we use those features. Thank you for joining with me. See you on next tutorial. Before leave, don't forget to subscribe my channel.